What's up and welcome. I'm Kipper, and today we're going to be diving back into Dredge, where we'll be shipping out to the Twisted Strand. But before we do that, please, if you haven't already, or if you're new here, go subscribe to the channel. It really helps out, and it's greatly appreciated. I'll give you a second to do that. It's right here, this little button down here I'm looking at. I'm looking at you. Click it, please. Thank you. Okay, enough of that. Let's hit the seas. And we're back. Last time we finished off the Gale Cliffs area, so this time we're going to be headed to the Stellar Basin. But first, we're going to dock at this little dock right here and see what this is. This is a little group. This isn't the Stellar Basin yet. This is a little group of islands like between Gale Cliffs and the Stellar Basin. Here, I'll show you the map. We're on these little islands in between the two, so I'm going to check out these before we head over to the Stellar Basin. Hello. Sorry. Would you step out of the way for a moment? You're in my shot. You move to the side. A few seconds later, the photographer sighs in exasperation and mutters to herself. No, this simply won't do. What's the matter? The angle of this lens is all wrong. I'll never get a close-up shot of anything with this. And the others, I fear they were lost overboard. She sighs again and looks off to the west. I was sailing from Stellar Basin, you see, squeezing my boat through a narrow gap between two islands, and then I crashed into some coral. I thought I heard something in the water behind me, so I dared not stop. If you were able to retrieve the lenses for me, let me see. She rummages through what few belongings survived the trip. I have a spare camera here that I won't need. You're welcome to it, if you can find those lenses. I'll mark on your map where I think I lost them. Okay, so we gotta find some camera stuff for her. But right now it's getting kinda late, so we'll rest here for the night, and in the morning we'll keep exploring around these islands. And we can start with this dredge spot right here. See what we get. A pouch of doubloons. And then there's this guy. Another hooded figure, dirty gold robes. Fishermen, deep, calls, respond. Their voice gurgles with the sound of fluid in their lungs. An answer. The hooded figure holds out a scroll. They tap at a shape depicted. It looks like a red snapper. Well, don't have one of those yet. Time to head back to Greater Morrow and do a little upgrading because the trip to Stellar Basin is long and I don't know what's there. The lighthouse keeper is waiting for you on the dock, looking displeased. I saw you sailing out towards the horizon, crossing that deep expanse. Do you really think that's wise? What's the problem? It feels a bit like tempting fate, does it not? Things are bad enough around here without your provocations. Abruptly, she walks away. Her eyes scan the water as she walks along the dock. Okay, that was weird. Anyway, it's time for some upgrades. So, we're gonna get cargo space, engines, and then I gotta get some more materials. So we're gonna go out and grab some of those. Some materials and some monies. Because it's a pretty good ways out there. It takes me, at this rate, it takes me most of a day to get even to the island, let alone be able to find a dock somewhere. If there's a dock over there, there might not be. I might have to come back to the photographer's place to dock or something. So, we're going to do some of these upgrades before we head out there. Let's spend a little time over here. Just stocking up on stuff. I also found some more stuff around the islands where the photographer is, and we grabbed all that too. Like I found this a half submerged chest. So we took that and a scrap of paper out of there. A doubloon and a piece of paper. And then we found this collection of cases washed ashore that had the photographer's camera in it. So I went to take that back to her so I can get my own camera. You have the lenses. Oh, I do hope they've not been damaged by the seawater. She takes the case from you and inspects each lens carefully. They seem mostly unharmed, nothing that some careful polishing can't remedy at least. As promised, you should take my spare camera. The lens is nothing special, but it should allow you to capture some good shots. If you wanted some advice in locating wildlife to photograph, just say the word. I think we're alright right now. Alright, so we're upgraded, and we're almost done exploring with this, and now it's time to speed over to the Stellar Basin. Alright, and we're here. Now we're gonna stop at this dock because it's getting kind of late anyway and see what's happening here. If anything. Is it abandoned? Is it populated? No, it looks like there's a researcher. Let's see what they have to say. Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting visitors. Who are you? I'm a fisherman. Yes, I thought you had the look. But a fisherman all the way out here? Strange. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all the same. I've not seen another soul in months. In fact, I could do with your help, if you had the time. Well, okay. What do you need help with? I need help collecting samples to study. I was originally posted at the research outpost on the interior of the basin, but it was attacked. A large creature emerged from the depths and destroyed the outpost. Now it rests in the center of the basin. I fled here and have been making do as best I can, but I had to leave most of my equipment behind, so now my research has come to a halt. Take a look at the list of specimens I need. Please drop them off here. You might need to experiment with different fishing strategies to collect all of them. Glowing octopus, aurora jellyfish, firefly squid. Okay. Shouldn't be too difficult. Is there anything else? What sort of creature attacked you? Well, I got the sense that it was attacking the research outpost itself rather than me specifically. I suspect it was disturbed by some of my monitoring equipment. There were dozens of machines running there, all powered by noisy generators. It was huge, larger than any other marine species I've studied, and attacked with tentacles, so I'd guess it's some sort of octopus or squid, an anema. One of my research vessels was moored around the back of the station, so I managed to slip away in that while it was tearing apart the front. There was a lot of valuable data and equipment left there, but I'm not going back. I can't. I won't. Anything else? That'll be it for now. Alright, a quick rest and we'll start exploring in the morning. Alright, it's the morning. Let's start exploring. We're gonna head straight in. The shadows are freaking me out. We're gonna try to avoid... Okay, those would be the tentacles. So we probably don't want to go out that way. That's a lot of tentacles. That thing probably is pretty big. We're gonna go this way and see what's out here. Found a note. Found some boxes scattered on the shore haphazardly. Just another scrap of paper. We're getting a map. We're gonna take all that. And then there's this little, like, is this a resort? This looks like a resort. People would pay good money to stay in these little huts. There's these. It doesn't look like there's actually a spot to dock here, though. There is a bunch of dredgeable stuff in the water, so we got enough to get some more upgrades. And make a start on the last hull upgrade, that's a lot of stuff. That is a lot of materials. But we'll put in what we have for now. Pull stuff out of storage. I think I can actually get really close to finishing this, aside from like the scraps of metal. The spots I found for those, I don't think they replenish. Like the other material spots come back over time. So far the metal ones have not done that. So I need 2 more metal and wood. 1 wood. But let's keep exploring around the island, around the basin. See what's around this side from the research outpost. There's some stuff here. Material dredge. What's this? Pile of flotsam collecting on the beach. There's a chest inside. Some doubloons. And another scrap of paper. We've got the whole map now, I think. I'll have to check that out at some point before we leave this area. And it looks like here's the floating dock at the basin. So this is a nice little spot to stop, and we need to work on catching some fish now. I've pretty much explored everything but the very center. And I guess right around this side, which should take us to the resort area. But there's this thing right here. What's this? Oh, okay, that's just a crab. That's another big crab. Those things are annoying. They just look like something interesting, and then they're not. But yeah, okay, and then this just comes around to the resort. And it looks like there's a little thing we can blow up right there. And then just a bunch more dredge spots. Oh, wait. It's a dog! There's a skinny brown dog leaping around in the shallows. Occasionally it lunges at the water, snapping at some small silvery fish. You jump off the boat into the high water. The dog stops chasing fish and focuses on you. Well, let's slowly approach. You wade towards the shore. As you get nearer, the dog backs up a little ways. It sits. Let's throw it some fish. You throw some scraps towards the dog, which land in the sand. The dog eats them, along with a mouthful of sand. We'll move a little closer. It runs away nervously and hides in some bushes. After a few minutes, it comes back. Let's try to encourage it over, call for it. And we'll hold out some fish. It begins licking at them. And now we'll pet the dog. You reach out and gently pat the dog. Its eyes follow your hand. It seems to understand you're not a threat. Cool. Make our way back towards the boat. As you're wading out, you hear the sloshing of 4 legs cutting through the water behind you. The dog is standing a few paces behind you. It tilts its head questioningly. Well, you better come on. You continue, this time with the dog alongside. Its tail wagging so hard it beats the water into a froth. When you get to the boat, you turn around and pull the dog on board. Yep. We're gonna put you... We'll put you down here by the engines where you can stay warm. You lift the dog onto the deck. It walks around briefly before curling into a ball and looking at you. We got a friend. I just hope I don't bump into something and lose him overboard. That would be the worst thing that could happen in this game. If I lose the dog overboard. Maybe the boat isn't the safest place to have a dog. Anyway, I went back and got some explosives so that we can see what's through here. Which is probably a metal scrap. Because I feel like that's what most of these are going to be. Yay, a metal scrap. Well, I mean, I needed this for my boat upgrade anyway. We can give the dog to the researcher. The dog bounds over to the researcher. She crouches down to pet the dog, grinning. The dog licks her chin in response. I could definitely take this one off your hands, and I'd love the company. Are you sure? No, but yes. Yes, thank you. We're going to be such good friends. He can be my assistant. Oh, he's going to make a good assistant. Suddenly, the dog stands upright and begins to retch, its stomach heaving. Seconds later, it vomits a wet glob onto the floor. Something glistens through the mucus. Gross. Oh, that's interesting. I suppose that's yours if you want it. Yeah, sure, I'll take it. I'll clean the rest up, don't worry about it. I mean, it's your dog now. Okay. Actually, I think I found one of the specimens. Yes, I found a glowing octopus. And now we'll head over to the research station because I haven't checked this out yet. Hopefully I don't get attacked while I'm here. The laboratory is in ruins with equipment and research papers strewn about the place. Where do you want to look? Cupboards. Open the cupboards. Research part. Okay. I emptied them. Inspect the equipment. Strange looking prototype parts on the table. You can't see any use for them right now. Okay. That's helpful. On the other side of the table, you find a hastily scrawled note. It reads, "Not safe. Expect retaliation imminently. Evacuating to fort." Okay, ominous. You look on the floor. There are cracks in the base of the structure that grow to large gashes as you follow them along to the walls. Tentacles really did a number on this place. Something extremely large and powerful created these holes. You slowly reach your arm into one. Why would we do that, though? I mean, I guess we got a research part out of it, but like, why? Where do you want to look? There's nowhere left to look. Let's check the generator. An old generator sputters and ticks over. Alright. Well, that was the research outpost. Okay. So we had that scrap of metal. I went ahead and bought another one. And now we have money for the tier 4 hull upgrade. And I also found the other 2 specimens for the researcher. Thank you. Looks like you've caught all of the surface specimens I need. And pet the good boy. Yeah. But yes, I do also need some from deeper down, but that's going to be a problem. Why is that a problem? I don't have any equipment to catch anything deeper down. Why is it a problem? I developed a device to retrieve samples from the abyssal zone, but this was over in the other research outpost, before the attack. I have an idea of how to keep the creature at bay long enough to collect these samples, but while I work on that, I need you to retrieve some prototype parts. Carefully, I suggest you go during the day. I wouldn't want to be out on the reef at night. Is there anything else? Nope, that'll do it. Back to the research outpost to grab those prototype parts off the table that we saw earlier. We could have just grabbed them then. But I guess we don't have like a key items thing. It's just, it would be like this. It would have been just a random thing on our boat that we could have sold or lost or something to soft lock ourselves. Alright, so back to the researcher with the parts. I have the parts. Excellent. Let me assemble a device for you. This should allow you to catch specimens from much greater depths. It's a little slow, but you may be able to make some improvements. We have a sampling device and nowhere to put it, so I'm gonna make some room for that real quick. Alright, that's installed. Now I've developed a repulsion machine that produces a bright light and emits high-pitched noise. It should deter the creature from attacking, or enrage it, I'm not sure. Connected to the research outpost generator, you'll have to return and re-engage it every few hours, but other than that, it's completely automated. Okay, cool. Great, now take a look at this list of specimens. Remember, you'll want to install and activate the machine before attempting to collect these. You might also need to improve that equipment I gave you to catch some of these. Well, great. So we anglerfish, loose jaw, small fish, and that other whatever. Alright, well, let's go install this and catch some fish. The researcher's repulsion machine could be connected to the outpost generator. A small object rolls out from under the generator covered in dried salt. More research parts. And let's activate this thing. The repulsion machine hums and whirs to life. A few seconds later, a bright light shoots from the top and an alarm begins blaring. The researcher said this should keep the creature at bay, for a time at least. She also said that it could enrage it, but it looks like that's not going to be the case. Okay, I see no tentacles, so let's start dredging. We got a bunch of stuff, and we got a few of the specimens out of this trip before it got too late. And then I went back out there to get the other ones, and we got the relic. She has good news and bad news. What first? The bad news is that the samples you retrieved from the basin have dangerously high counts of cellular mutations. Well, I mean, yeah. The good news is that I found down on what's causing the abnormalities in the ecosystem. Could it be the big tentacles? Maybe? Whatever that thing is? Let's find out. This all points to one thing. That thing in the basin is harmful to life at a cellular level. It damages everything around it, whether passively or with intent. I knew it. The tentacles. I need to write up a report on my findings. Sorry, our findings. Immediately. Maybe now they'll take me seriously. Oh, how rude of me. You've done all this for me, and I've not got much to say thank you with. You should have this. She opens a drawer and pulls out a book. Sheepishly, she hands it to you. This is something I wrote during my studies. I think it'll be useful to you. Thanks again for your help. I'd recommend that you avoid the area. It doesn't seem safe to be near the basin. Alright, well, I guess that wraps all that up. Thanks again for your help. Appreciate you, no problem. Now we got out there and we found the relic, and we just need to wrap up a few more things. Like this little altar thing that was around the islands close to the photographer, which want 4 large powerful fish. So that's different types of sharks that we just gotta figure out how to slot in here. And then I got the last one, little shark, the ghost shark, goes right there. You slide the 4 sharks into the fissures and they slip down out of sight. Moments later, you spot something rising towards the surface. We have a better abyssal and hadal crane line. Higher chance to catch aberrated fish. And now we'll go turn this into the collector. We walk in and place the jewel encrusted ring on a table by the collector. His eyes widen. We're certainly making excellent progress now, and I know what you're thinking. An item like this would fetch a fortune at any auction, but for us, its value transcends material wealth. Regardless, you are due a reward. Ooh, yay, power up time. Wonder what we're gonna get. He opens the crimson book, its spine cracking audibly. Selecting a page carefully, he begins to read aloud. The words sound muffled as though he's speaking through a thick haze. You hear a growling, crackling in your ears. Suddenly your vision flares and both of your ears pop. He closes the book. We must keep searching. I've been thinking more on where we might find another. I can imagine all manner of detritus swallowed by the silly muck of the Twisted Strands channels. It's worth investigating. Anything else? Yeah, what'd you do to me this time? The book holds power from the deep. I merely extended its powers towards you. Banish. The banishing words will provide you a temporary protection from most things. If spoken swiftly enough, they can be used defensively. Choose your moment carefully. The more they are spoken, the more they are understood. Anything else? What will you do once you have all the relics? Let's find out the answer to that question. Kinda curious. He ponders for a moment. It's surprising, isn't it? The attachments we hold towards simple objects. But they are anything but simple. Seemingly mute articles can speak in different ways. If I showed you a childhood toy, you would be awash with forgotten memories. They hold the power to recall what was once lost. Anything else? The mayor of Old Morrow, or Little Morrow, that stuttering old fool, yes, I knew him. He joined us on the water sometimes, but it was more hindrance than help. He never seemed entirely with it. I can't imagine he has fared too well since I last saw him. Anything else? Nope, that's gonna be it. And that's gonna be it for this episode. We have finished the Stellar Basin and are getting ready to head to the Twisted Strand. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope to see you in the next one. If you haven't already, before you click away, please go hit that subscribe button. It really helps out. I really appreciate it. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Have a day.